Joining us today for Primetime Local News is USA Today bestselling author and Emmy-winning reporter Hank Phillippi Ryan. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us.
Shelby, nice to be here. It's wonderful to see you again.
Of course, it's great to speak with you again as well. So now we're speaking on your newest novel called Her Perfect Life. It's a mystery thriller. Can you tell us more about this?
I am so in love with this book. It is my 13th book, which is kind of crazy. It's a cat and mouse thriller. There was a wonderful exercise on Twitter, of all places, that said, can you describe your book in 5 words? And I figured out for Her Perfect Life, this is it. Isn't that gorgeous? I figured out sisters, betrayal, fame, guilt, and revenge. Sisters, betrayal, fame, guilt, and revenge, and all those roiling controversies and conflicts that go into that. And so then there was another thing on Facebook that said, describe your book in 5 phrases. So Her Perfect Life in 5 phrases is a beloved reporter with a dark secret, a missing college student, and that's not the secret, an anonymous source, a clandestine, passionate weekend at a ski resort, and a child's little pink suitcase that is surprisingly empty. So bottom line, Her Perfect Life is a fast-paced, page-turning cat and mouse thriller about 2 smart women. One of them is Lily Atwood. Lily Atwood is a beloved television reporter, so perfect that her fans have given her a hashtag, Perfect Lily. And everyone knows Lily Atwood, and that could be her big problem because Lily has fame, she has fortune, she has Emmys, she's the single mom to an adorable 7-year-old daughter. But she also has a dark secret, and she fears that someone's going to tell this secret. But how do you keep a secret if you're always in the spotlight? So Lily begins to learn that the spotlight is the most dangerous place of all. So quickly, 2 smart women facing off in a high-stakes psychological cat and mouse game to prove their truth about a devastating childhood betrayal. But which woman is the cat and which woman is the mouse? And that is Her Perfect Life, which is now, just after a couple of weeks on sale, already in a second printing. So I am thrilled about that.
Now, with you being an author and also an investigative reporter for a number of years now, was there a moment in your life that inspired you to write this book, and how was the writing process like?
Well, Shelby, that's interesting because you know what it's like to be recognized. You know what it's like to go to the grocery store and have people say, oh, Shelby, I see you on TV. And that's wonderful. And I have been a television reporter for 43 years. You know, I've wired myself with hidden cameras, I've confronted corrupt politicians, I've gone undercover and in disguise. But that idea of having a public life is something that it was really intriguing for me to reveal in this book. Think about it. Once my house was broken into, and when I got to the scene, I said to the police officer, "What happened? That's my house." And he said, "Yeah, we caught a burglar inside your house." And he said, "The burglar told us that he had robbed you because he knew you were live anchoring the news. So he knew you weren't home." And how vulnerable is that? How dangerous is that? And I started thinking about, what if I had had something in my house that was secret, that I thought I was keeping from people, and that burglar found it? What would I do then? So you, of all people, understand the vulnerability of being on television. We love it. We love people to know us. We love people to come up to us and say, "Ooh, I have such a good story." And that's great. But on the other hand, there's a little bit of a danger that's involved in that. I mean, you talked about my Emmys, and every one of the Emmys that I have represents not only something good that we did, but a secret that someone didn't want me to tell, right? And so every one of those Emmys, also represents an enemy. And that is what I was trying to portray with Lily Atwood in Her Perfect Life.
Since you have released this newest novel, how has support been so far?
Well, it's been great because Lily Atwood in Her Perfect Life is a single mom and she's trying to protect her daughter. Lily Atwood chose the spotlight and she knows how to deal with it. But her little 7-year-old daughter, Rowan, didn't choose the spotlight. So Lily, like all single moms, like all moms, is having to juggle her professional career and what she needs to do to stay where she is, and her personal life protecting her family. And what if those two are at loggerheads? So everyone who has a family has really, and that's all of us, actually, everyone who has a family has been so connected with this. We all understand what it's like to balance our personal and professional lives. You got a starred review from Kirkus and a starred review from Publishers Weekly. So I know the professional readers and reviewers love it. But the idea that my readers have put it into a second printing already is incredibly gratifying. That idea, we write by ourselves. I'm sitting here in this very office at this very computer writing my books. And the idea that readers will read them still brings tears to my eyes. It is still such a joy to hear how much people are enjoying these books. The pandemic has been so, I don't know, so sad and kept us apart so much. And I always say it's always safe inside a book where you're living someone else's life and dealing with someone else's problems. And in the end, there will be some justice. So, especially in these times of pandemic, the idea of being able to be a storyteller and take my readers' minds off of the real world, that has been a real treasure.
Is there anything else you'd like to add, like where people can access this right now?
Happily and delightedly, Her Perfect Life is everywhere. You can buy it in any bookstore, you can buy it online. And just as important, you can find me on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram if you come to my website, hankphillippiryan.com. When you click on contact, that comes right to me. I'm sort of the poster child for following your dreams in midlife. I didn't start writing till I was 55 years old. So I guess I'm the proof that if there is something that you want to do, if there is something that your viewers want to do, this is the time to do it. And I'm proof that it's never too late to follow your dreams.
Perfect. Such great advice. Thank you so much again for joining us today, Hank Phillippi Ryan.
My complete pleasure. I wish you all the best.